Hi, I'm Rachel, and welcome to Do You Mindful. As you might know, this month is Mental Health Awareness Month, and so this video is going to be about a couple of things to keep in mind in regards to mental health. The first one, which is something I hope I've made clear by now, is that your mental health matters. It really, really does. People tend to invalidate themselves by saying how much worse somebody else has it, and so at least they're not in that position. But doing that really doesn't help you in any way. No matter what the situation is, your feelings are so valid, and the first step to a healthy mind is acknowledging and accepting your feelings as they are rather than putting yourself down for having them. The next thing I want to say is that mental health is just as important as physical health. A lot of people feel that because we can't always see mental health or mental illness, it's not as important as our physical conditions, and it's something that can just be pushed under the rug. But our mental health really plays a huge role in how we live our lives and also in the function of our bodies. I don't know if you've heard about mind-body health, but there is so much research out there that proves that the way we feel in our mind really, really affects our physical health. So one, mental health pretty much equals physical health. And two, just because you can't see an illness, it doesn't mean that it's not debilitating, and it doesn't mean that that person's struggle is any less difficult than someone with a physical illness's struggle. And so it's really important to recognize if you have some kind of mental illness, what it is that you're facing, how you're feeling, and whether or not you're feeling bad more than you're feeling good, and whether or not this is something you'd be willing to seek help for. I know that seeking help is a really difficult topic for some people because they feel that others might perceive them as weak if they were to seek out mental health treatment, or that, this is something they should be able to deal with on their own. But seeking help for mental illness is such a sign of strength. Admitting and acknowledging what you are dealing with and wanting to be better is something that will not only help you, but will help every single other person in your life. And so taking that step to try and work on yourself is just the best thing you can do. I know that the view of mental illness and mental health is very, very dependent on what culture and background you come from. And so I know that if you come from a family of a culture that does not really prioritize mental health, then it's probably very, very difficult for you to seek help and seek treatment. But I think it's super important to just evaluate the quality of life that you have, and just know that if you're struggling every single day and you're never happy and everything feels difficult and upsetting, then it might be time for you to try and turn things around. I know that that's so much easier said than done, but there are ways to live life and feel good about it and enjoy yourself. It shouldn't just be you getting by and existing every day. There is so much more than that. And so if life just feels like you're just struggling to get by, then I think that's a sign that maybe there is some intervention that might be needed. If you are struggling right now, I understand how difficult it is to reach out for support. Our instincts pull us in the opposite direction of where we should go. Meaning, if you are feeling depressed or you are feeling anxious, some of the best things you can do is reaching out to other people to help you. But our instincts pull us inward, and they make us isolate, and they want us to just sit in and scroll on social media or watch TV or whatever it is that you do to numb your mind. But even though our instincts say, no, don't talk to anyone, really the best thing to do is find an outlet, whether that is talking to people or just a way to express yourself. That could be through art, through writing, or through any other activity that you enjoy. And your mind and your body will thank you for doing that. It'll be really, really difficult to find the motivation to do those things if you are feeling down and you're not feeling like yourself, but if you can push really, really hard to do what you don't feel like doing in that moment, it will be so, so worth it. Something else that I wanted to mention that I think I've said before is that feelings and emotions, they come in waves. They get really intense at one point and then they die down later. Feelings are temporary. They're not there forever. And so if you are struggling with mental illness, I am sure that sometimes feel better than others. And so it's just important to remember that no matter how you're feeling, it's temporary. It will end. This is really something I've leaned on when I'm feeling really down. I really just know that I will come out the other side and I'll be okay. And so I just kind of hang in there and wait for that time to come where I feel better. A lot of times feelings are really all-consuming, and it's the only thing we can think about, and it feels like we have felt and will feel this way forever, but it's not true. The last thing that I wanted to say is that it's so important to check in on the people that you love. There's some people who really are very transparent with their emotions, and they're constantly talking about how they feel and what's going on with them. And then there's other people who don't say as much and kind of always have a poker face and make everything look like it's fine. So no matter what kind of person you are dealing with, it's important that you check in on everybody. Someone who seems perfectly fine could be struggling with something really, really difficult, and you would never know. I know that the question of how's your mental health might seem awkward to ask, and I get that, I've been there, but just kind of swallowing your pride and doing it anyway goes such a long way, because at the end of the day, we are all just people who want to be heard, we want to be understood, and to have someone ask you how you're feeling is something that is always appreciated, no matter what. That is my video for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Have a good one.